Just give me a couple of more.
Yeah,
Share the screen.
the flute.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. We can start the Mangalacharan. Meanwhile, Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankajanaಭಾಯ Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajanggrahe Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Sopadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyata Desatharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome you all on our ongoing discussion. I hope you had a good weekend, though weather was not so good. Okay, so today we'll be continuing. Basically, we will recap Canto 4, sorry, 5, 6, and 7 once again, and then tomorrow we'll continue with Canto 8. Okay, so let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? Anyone,
Yes,
please?
Prabhuji.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, that's good. Let's do a recap of Canto 5, 6, and 7. So the Canto 5 is just with the creative impetus. So where we have discussed about the activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. So Maharaj Priyavrata, we know that he was son of Manu. However, uh, because when the Prachetas they went, sorry, they went for hostilities, and sorry, when they came up that they went for hostility, and then there was no one to rule. So uh, Swayambhu Manu, he went and asked Maharaj Priyavrata to take care of the kingdom, and though he wanted to retire as well, and he was not willing to take because of he has already gone through the teachings by Narada Muni to be remain celibate. And then Lord Brahmaji came and he asked him to please take up this as a duty, and also as an instruction of Lord Supreme Lord. So he took this responsibility with great enthusiasm. Earlier he was not willing, but later on when he took the responsibility very well. And then we know that he married to Bar- Barismati, where he had 10 sons. Three of them became celibate, and seven of them gave them the 7 islands. We've seen how Maharaj Priyavata actually he roamed around the other side of sun, and he made 7 islands, the beaches, by circulating that whole Sumeru Parvat. And then we know that all the beaches were become 7 islands, and also in the middle, the oceans of kind of salt, sugar cane, liquor, butter, milk, yogurt, and all the things. We have discussed all the things. And then from and then his one great son was becomes the Agnidhara. So King Agnidhara again he ruled the middle part of the even Jambudvipa, and then he went for austerity to the biggest son, and as he pleased Supreme Lord, then he could see that Krishna he come as his Nabi, and so Nabi as he got 9 sons, and Nabi was the eldest, and then they all 9 they got married with the daughters of Meru. First one is called Meru Devi. He got married with Nabi, and then he could rule the kingdom. After that, we see that how Rishabdev appears from Nabi. Nabi again did some austerity by inviting all the sages, and in a very, as he was king, he did a very nice opulent austerity or sacrifice actually to get son. And he, when Lord appeared, he says, I want son like you. Then his Lord says, no, there is no one like me, exactly like me, so I will appear you. I'll appear as your son. And then Lord appeared as son of Navi and Meru Devi as Rishabdev. And then we discussed about the Rishabdev, his activities. He ruled the world again, and he begot 100 sons, and then headed by Bharat Maharaj. And at the end, he renounced the world very in an avdut way, and he also given a very nice instruction to everyone else that the important ones are like for householder, that everyone should be devoted toward Lord Krishna. And he said then a person before becoming, maybe like someone should think or someone is not eligible to become a guru, a mother, a father, or a teacher if they are not able to deliver them, or not able to give them the uh, highest thing in the life, or that is basically to get the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and get delivered from this material contamination, material diseases, and all the things, and going back to spiritual world. Right. And then his first son, Maharaj Bharat, we discussed about his 3 lives. So Maharaj Bharat was ruling very nicely. He was exalted devotee of Lord. However, at the end, uh, when he wanted to, he renounced all his family affairs and his kingdom, and he went back. And there we see how he got attached with the deer, and thinking that I am the one who will going to take care of him, take care of the deer, the deer's child of the deer. And then by being so attached to the deer, he forgot his whole uh, process of devotion. And then in the next life, he became a deer. However, in the life of a deer, he could remember his past life very well. So he went back to the same place near the bank of river, and then the deer remained there, and he gave up his body. And the next life, he became Jad Bharat. And we see that in Jad Bharat, where we discussed about the discussion between a king called as Rahugana, and there Jad Bharat Maharaj, actually Jad Bharat explained him about these positions are temporary. You are now king, and I am now your servant, and the designation might change at any time, right? And then he gave an analogy of this whole material world is basically like a dense forest where we enter, and there is no way to come out of that. That's why at the end we should take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Hari. And by describing that, then we discussed about the description of islands of Jambudvipa specifically. So when we see that Bharat Maharaj, he made 7 parts of this Bhumandala, and the middle one was Jambudipa. And again in Jambudipa, there are different divisions that are divided into many parts, right? And in Jambudipa also, the middle one is Sumeru, and that are being divided by many of the mountains in between that, and three are upper, three are lower, and two are sides, and one is the middle one, like Ilavrata, Bharata Varsha, Hari Varsha, Kimpur Varsha, and Ramayana Varsha, like those. And every island has their own deities, like Ilavrata Varsha is Sankarshan, and then Bharata Varsha as Hayagriva, Hari Varsha as Narsimha, and Bharata Varsha as Narayana. And everyone being there, one was exalted devotee who used to serve or please Lord. And then in that canto, in fifth, we discussed about the how River Ganga came actually from the spiritual world to this material world. And we seen when the Vamana Dev, so he took when he was taking everything from Bali Maharaj. That actually we'll see in coming cantos about the description of that completely. And then he by his toes he touched the higher planet, and then he made a hole, and then from there Mother Ganga came, and then it came from there to Dhruva Loka Temple down towards to the on summit or top of that Sumeru hill or Sumeru Parvat, and from there it flowed in four directions, right? And then we discuss about the structure of universe, how the movement of sun and moon and all the loka loka deepa, the sun cannot go beyond that, the sun maybe sun rays can't go beyond that. And then we see in the planetary system how the planets are being are hold in layers and layers, and all are the pivot point is the Dhruva Loka. In between that, the all planets revolve around it. Also, we understood that sun also revolve uh, around that, making a pivot to Dhruva Loka. And that is very sun and moon and others. And also there we discussed important thing like the description of hellish planet. So hellish planets, they comes before lower planets. So we have 7 lower planets like Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatal, Mahatala, Satal, and underneath that we have hellish planet as well. There also whatever the kind of sin activities we perform in this life, we get punished there. So we had a question regarding that earlier, maybe I think from even from Mintu Prabhu, even from Rishabh Prabhu, that when we go to hellish planet, uh, we we suffer there because of our activities, and then when we come back to this material world, why do we suffer again, isn't it? Oh, sorry. Why do we suffer again? So the answer here is, I discussed earlier, that when we get pious activities, we go to the higher planet, to Swarga Loka. We enjoy there, and as a very little amount of pious being remain there, we come back to this material world and enjoy it again. In a similar way, it's being said that the the sinful activities are divided into 3 categories. Whatever sin we do, those are made in three parts. One is we need to suffer in hellish planet. That's one part. And the second part, we suffer in lower planet and lower species. And the third part, we suffer in human body. So that's the one description I got from senior devotee, that why even going through the suffering in hellish planet, why do we suffer again in metal world? So these are the categories. We suffer a lot in hellish planet, and some of those we suffer in lower planet and lower species. So like being a dog and being a like not human being, that's a suffering as well. But that's not in that extent what we suffer. The rest remaining part we suffer in human body of life, right? So that is how we discussed about this whole fifth canto, stating about Maharaj Priyavrata and Rishabdev's teachings, Jalbharat Maharaj and his teaching and discussion with King Ramugana, and then a description of whole Jambudipa and the universe and structure, all the things, right? So that's how we covered Canto 5. And coming to Canto 6, that's prescribed duties for mankind or for mankind. There we discussed an amazing story about life of Azamil. So this being narrated uh, that the Azamil was a Brahmin, but however, he got indulged in a prostitute and he gave up his own life and even his own family and wife, and he stayed with that prostitute and to serve her, to maintain her, and to fulfill all the desires. He was started doing sinful activities, right? And then we discussed about when he was about to die, but he has a son named as Narayana, and when he was dying he actually could see Yamadutas coming to take him, and at the time he loudly, with with full things, he called his son Narayana, and by stating 4 words Narayana, 4 Vishnudutta appeared. And as Vishnudutta appeared, they had discussion with Yamaduta that you cannot take this person because he is ours now. But Yamaduta says no, he has done so many activities, sinful activities, so he needs to get punishment. And then Vishnudutta told, you seems to be knowing the rules and regulations of whom to take to the Yamaloka, but you don't know completely. And then Yamaduta, being chastised by Vishnudutta, they went back to Yamaraj, and Yamaraj instruct Yamaduta saying that anyone who has taken shelter of Lord Hari or chanting the holy name of Lord never go there, right? And then they said, actually Yamadutas, they said that I know you as a supreme, but is there someone else? Then Yamaraj said, yes, there is someone else who is supreme. So anyone who serves lotus feet of Lord Hari, becoming a devotee of that, you should not go over there. That's what the kind of instructions given by Yamaraj to Yamadutas. And then we see about the Daksha Prajapati, his second birth from Prachetas, and he made a prayer or Hamsa Guhya prayers to increase the progeny, and then he desired to have son that time, after saying that he had 1100 sons in first, sorry, 11,000. So first he has 10,000 sons, those are known as Aryavarshas, and that those all 10,000 sons are being converted to Brahmachari by Narada Muni. And again he begot 1,000 more sons known as Shavalsas. So those are again being converted as Brahmachari by Narada Muni. And then he became so much angry towards Narada Muni, saying that my plan, he is not giving me the proper things. And he cursed Narada Muni, saying that you seems to be very spreading the message of God, but you are not acting in that way. And then Lord Brahma came and pacified Daksha, and he said that you can begot daughters now. So then Daksha Prajapati, he begot 60 daughters, and those are being given to all the sages for further progeny. And then we see that how Indra was proud of his own opulences. He offended his guru Brihaspati when in the assembly, when Brihaspati came, they did not respected them, and then Brihaspati just left the assembly and he became invisible to everyone. And then they went to, like Indra and all the devatas, they went to Brahma, and by instruction of Brahma they took shelter of another guru, a spiritual master called as Vishwarupa. And Vishwarupa has 3 heads, and he is again from in the lineage of demon. However, when he was giving oblations to the sacrifices, he was also giving oblations for the demons as well. And when Indra got to know, he cut his 3 heads. And then his father, or Vishwarupa father Twasta, he became very angry, and by being angry he did a sacrifice, and he created a demon known as Vitrashur. Though by chanting the mantra there was some mistakes, and he was actually inviting Vitrasur to kill Indra, but due to the mistakes in the chanting of the mantra, it happened like Vitrasur has to be killed by Indra. So Vitrasur was a great, huge demon, and but he was a completely surrendered soul to Lord Vishnu, and he was completely. And we discussed about this fight. So when the fight happened, he was actually instructing Indra to kill me. Right, I'm completely focused right now on the lotus feet of Hari. So please kill me. And at the end, so Indra has got a thunderbolt given by Lord Vishnu, and who's are being made by Vishwakarma. And then at the end, Vitrasur was being killed by Indra. We understood and we've seen that how vigorously Vitrasur fought, and everyone was actually being surprised. And then we discussed about glories of Vitrasur, that Vitrasur, though he lost the war, he was being killed by Indra, but as he was devoted to Lord Hari, he actually went back to his spiritual world. And Indra still remained in this material world, enjoying the heavenly planet. And Vitrasur, he went back to the spiritual world. So that is, even by like losing the war or dying in the war, he actually achieved the highest perfection. And he was completely surrendered to Lord Hari. And by seeing that, we saw a question that how Vitrasur being so much devoted. Then Sukadeva Goswami continues answering him, saying his previous life as King Chitraketu. So we discussed at Chitraketu, he has millions of wives, not just for his enjoyment, sense enjoyment, but he wanted to have son. However, he could not be got son from any of those. And then Angira Muni, he came and he advised him, and by doing a sacrifice, he said, okay, I'll give a child, but this child will become will give you a pleasure as well as sorrow as well at the same time. But Chitraketu thought, okay, no problem. Looks like my son, when he will grow up, he won't be obeying me. So he thought, no problem, it's better to have a son rather than no one. But we discussed that the other wives, actually the son was begot from I think Kritadyuti, and then other wives, they become angry or become envious because King Chitraketu was started giving all his attentions towards Kritadyuti only. So they made a plan to kill, and when they killed uh, everyone in the whole kingdom, they all became sorrow and they all cried. And Narada Muni and Angira Muni, they both came again to pacify Chitraketu, and where they Narada Muni, by his power, by his he made that boy again in the life. And then the boy says, who is my father and how can I get his father, because I've taken so many life, so how can I know that these are my real father? And by that we understood that everything is temporary, and Chitraketu was being consoled. After that, Chitraketu meditate on Lord, and then when he was going around, he he saw Lord Shiva giving a talk to everyone, to the sages, and while keeping Mother Parvati with him. And by seeing him, Chitraketu laughed, and then Mother Parvati cursed him, and due to that curse, he become Vritasur. And also Lord Shiva said that, see the quality of Vaishnava, even though you cursed, he took the curse very well, and he went away, he didn't curse back to you. Right. So that's how we discussed about Canto 6. And at the end of that, uh, Diti Diti's two sons, Hirnaksha and Hirnakashipu, those are being killed by Lord, and Diti thought that to to take the Lord to the by the saying or by the request of Lord, sorry, by the request of King Indra, Lord has taken their part and they have killed my two sons. So I will do a vow to kill Indra. And then she went to Kashyapa Muni, and then Kashyapa Muni, she served very well to Kashyapa Muni, and Kashyapa Muni, by knowing the intention, he said, okay, it's not good. And he told that, you have to go to doing austerity for a year. And if you do that austerity very well, you will get a son to kill Indra. If you fail to do any of those, then uh, they will become dear to Indra. And the Indra also, by knowing this, he started serving Diti when she was doing austerity. Intention was to find a fault. And as he find a fault, and he entered in the womb, and he cut the the embryo into 7 pieces, and again from those 7 pieces he cut again 7 half, so all total of 49. And these becomes the Marutas. They prayed to Indra in the womb that, okay, we are your brothers, so don't kill us. And then when Diti came out from her dream, actually not dream, sorry, from her sleep, she could see what had happened. And then King Indra explained what had happened, everything. Then she became pleased with King Indra, and then Marutas becomes Devatas. So that is what we discussed in Canto 7 in a nutshell. And Canto 7, this is called as Science of God, where we discussed about the Supreme Lord is equal to everyone. So what had happened, one is King Yudhishthir asked a question to Narad Muni that how did this Dantravak, Shishupal got liberated. He was an enemy, right? And he should be punished, but how he got elevated toward the spiritual world. And then Narada Muni started explaining that Supreme Lord is equal to everyone. He doesn't take all those things. And then he started explaining about all the uh, lives of those, and all the about Hiranyakashipu. He became he was the king of demon, and his plan to become immortal. Basically, when Baradev, Lord Bara, killed Hiranyaksha, and then he became very angry, and Hiranyakashipu wanted to become immortal just to take a revenge, or to kill Lord Vishnu. And then he did very great austerity and pleased Lord Brahma, and he asked for the boon that I should not be killed from in that many different ways. And then we discussed about the Prahlad Maharaj and his instructions. Prahlad Maharaj, he was son of Hiranyakashipu. However, he was much devoted towards Lord. Hiranyakashipu had 4 sons, and Prahlad Maharaj was the 4th one. And we see in that how Prahlad Maharaj was actually fully surrendered and devoted to Lord Vishnu, despite of all the crooked thing done by Hiranyakashipu. And even in the schools, when he was being taught by Shanda and Amarka, he was actually preaching Krishna consciousness to the student, or to his classmate, whenever he got time in lunch break or that. And all the his classmates were become very much attracted or respectful towards Prahlad Maharaj at the time also. And Prahlad Maharaj told that from childhood only we should practice Krishna consciousness. Do not wait for anything else. By he glorified this, and by hearing these things, Hiranyakashipu became more angry, and he just wanted to kill Prahlad Maharaj. And in that time, Lord appeared from pillar. Lord Nrsimhadev appeared from pillar and had a great fight with Hiranyakashipu, and at the end he killed Hiranyakashipu with just his nails. And after that he was actually very furious, but no one approached to pacify him, no one approached to console him. Then Prahlad Maharaj went there and consoled Hiranyakashipu. He consoled Nrsimhadev as well, and Nrsimhadev was again very much pleased with Prahlad Maharaj, and he showered his blessings by putting his hand on his head, and he says, okay, you can ask boon from me, any desire you have. Then Prahlad Maharaj explained that uh, I am a servant. The devotion I do, it's not because of any exchange. I do not have any desire to get exchange. And if you want to give me some boon, then please let Give me a boon that there should not be any kind of material desire in my heart, and I should always remain in the association of the devotees, hearing your the glories of Lord, right? And then at the end he says, please, please excuse or elevate my father as well. Hiranyakashipu told, no, I'm sorry. Uh, Dev assured him, it's not just your father, your 21 previous ancestors, they are being purified as well, just by by my touch. And then Narad Muni explained about the great devotee Prahlad Maharaj, that he was so exalted that he didn't desire anything, any any material desire, nothing was there. However, by the instruction of Lord Nrsimha and all the devatas, he actually ruled the world for many years. And ending of this chapter, Narada Muni explains about the Varnashram Dharma. We discussed a bit in detail about 4 Varna and 4 Ashramas. 4 Varnas are, you know, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. Another 4 are, we see as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, and Vaishya. So these all are created just to please Lord Hari. These are not because of any caste or superior or lower things. It just all need to come together for the pleasure of Supreme Lord, and to elevate themselves. And also we discussed a bit more in this 4 Varnashram dharma, that how still we are being following it somehow or other, knowingly or unknowingly, we are actually following it, right? And then explained by Narada Muni about the ideal family life. Family should be there, and we should be have responsibility toward our family. At the same time, we should cultivate detachment, and detachment can be cultivated by taking Krishna consciousness in our life, taking Krishna uh, within our family. And we discussed a very nice small talk that Maharaj was saying, that if you are a family of 4, make it 5, like just bring Krishna at your home, right? So that's how ideal family life can be achieved, just by doing some service to Krishna. Whatever is basically, whatever you do, you just offer it to Krishna. That becomes a complete life as well, right? And the very important thing, the 9 process of devotional service that was given by Prahlad Maharaj, we had discussed this earlier. However, there's a more addition onto that. So the first one is hearing, Sravana, and the one Srimad Bhagavatam, or we exaltedly we know about who is hearing is Parshit Maharaj. Parshit Maharaj being called as he has followed the hearing process completely, though he had followed others as well, but in understanding of hearing, he has followed the whole 7 days and 7 nights without doing anything. He was completely focused on hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And second is chanting or kirtana, that is by Sukadev Goswami. He explained this Bhagavatam to Parshit Maharaj and other sages non-stop for whole 7 days and 7 nights. And then third one is remembrance or Vishnu Ranma. We understood that Prahlad Maharaj, he was the one who was exalted in every condition. He was remembering Lord Hari at the age of 5. And serving the lotus feet, the fourth one, where we can do Padashevanam, and the mother goddesses or Lakshmi is the one who serves lotus feet of Lord. And then deity worship is Pruthi Maharaj. He is to serve Lord very nicely, very opulently. And then praying or Vandanam is Akrura. I think in this one we'll go into 10th canto, we'll see it, the prayers of Akrura. And Dashyam or executing the orders or become a servant, as the Lord Hanuman takes the positions of the great servant of Lord. And Shakhyam is Arjuna. Arjuna, he was great friend of Lord and still devoted towards Lord. And the last one is complete surrender is Atmani Vedanam, that is Bali Maharaj. We'll see the incoming cantos about the Bali Maharaj as well, that how Bali Maharaj given up everything for to please Lord Hari, right? So that is how we end here, and a very very quick summary of the things what we have discussed in last maybe a month, kind of month and more than that. However, there was a question, maybe not question, maybe a discussion, like, how Lord Krishna and this peacock feather being related to that, isn't it? So there is a nice story. I'll just share it in, quickly in 5 minutes, and then we can take ahead. So what happened once? This peacock. So peacock, he went to Vrindavan and started crying, calling the name of Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. But Krishna didn't appear, and he became morose, and he was dissatisfied. What happened? Now I'm trying to see Krishna, but I could not see him. Then, by the guidance of some sages, he went to Varsana, or where Radharani resides, and there he started calling Radharani, Radharani, or Radhe Radhe. So when Radharani came, he says, why are you crying? He says, I'm trying to call Krishna, but I could not see him. And then Mother Radharani, she actually advised Peacock, okay, now you go again to Nandagaon, and there you called Radhe Radhe, take my name there. And by the instructions of Radharani, he came back, the Peacock came back to Nandagaon, and there again he chanted Radhe Radhe. As soon as he chanted Radhe Radhe, Lord Krishna appeared there. By running, he appeared there and says, what happened? And then when Peacock saw Krishna, he was so in a kind of in a ecstasy mood. And then Krishna started playing the flute, and the rain started, and they all danced, and the peacock, followed by others, they all danced very very exaltedly. And at the end, the head of the peacock, actually, he invited Krishna to dance with them. And then Krishna started dancing with the peacock. And at the end, Krishna was still dancing, and all the peacock, they got tired. And by seeing the dance of Krishna, and they become so much devoted toward Krishna, that out of love, they started giving up their peacock feather. So it means the beauty of peacock is because of peacock feather, of the feather, isn't it? And they have given up that for Krishna. And then after that, from that day, Krishna took their offering and keep there in his head. So I just narrated the story in a very brief. So that is how from that day Krishna is wearing peacock feather in his head. And also, a peacock is a brahmachari, so he doesn't associate like us to begot children. So he is brahmachari, and Krishna, Supreme Lord, is also brahmachari. He doesn't have any other mode to enjoy. He is self-satisfied, but to please devotees, he take different pastimes over there, right? So any questions, any thought for today? I think it was very quick, and hope it just get reminded of what we have discussed in last a month. So I stop here. Any thought or any comments, or so we can start tomorrow by Canto 8.
Yeah, Prabhuji, it was fantastic to revise all these things. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. It was very quite quick, I think. So, but anyway, though we have gone through, so definitely by saying the points, we'll remind the other things as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And Prabhuji, how many cantos are there again? 14, right?
12.
12 cantos. Okay.
We have covered 8. So what basically is 8, 9. Sorry, we have covered 7. So Canto 10 is the biggest one. That is all about Lord Krishna. And the principle of understanding that Canto 10 is going through the Canto 1 by 1 till Canto 9. And when we are on Canto 9, it's being basically said that now we have complete faith. There is no doubt in our heart that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And then when we understand Krishna's activities, then we can digest and we can understand and we can appreciate it. Otherwise, people, Prabhupada says, people directly go to Canto 10, and specifically in Canto 10, they enter in the Rasa Leela part and think that, okay, Krishna has done this kind of Rasa Leela, so what's wrong when we do? So, but when we go towards Canto and Canto, then we understand that Krishna is supreme. He can do whatever he wants. And he is just doing for the pleasure of the devotees. He's not doing it for himself. And for us, entering into Rasa Leela or thinking that, okay, I'll do that Rasa Leela, it's a completely different platform. Right. So that is why Prabhupada says that no, we should be going gradually from one to, and that also the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, Atra Sarga Visargascha. So in that, the last one we can say as Ashraya, or last topic is Ashraya. It means we take complete shelter of Lord Krishna. How can we take complete shelter of Lord Krishna? When we understand about Lord Krishna's pastime very vividly. So as of now, we have seen, how Lord Brahma appreciating or describing about Lord Vishnu. When Narada Muni came in the first canto, in the second canto, when Narada Muni says, I know you as a supreme. Who is there? Whom are you meditating on? Then Lord Brahma says, no, fool people say I am supreme. There is someone else whom I am meditating on, and that's Vishnu. And then again, we see these things again and again. When Prahlad Maharaj describing vividly about Lord Vishnu, we see Prithu Maharaj, we see Bharat Maharaj, we see Rishivadev, and we have seen everyone is actually saying that you are the supreme personality of Godhead. Even we see Rudra Gita, the Prachitas, that's amazing one, right? So that makes a foundation that yes, Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. There is no doubt in that. That's very first verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So who is Vasudevaya? He is the son of Vasudeva. That is Lord Krishna. And to make that firm convictions, this whole narration about Krishna's devotees, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's, all different activities are being there. And at that end, Canto 10, it's 90 chapters and completely describes all the activities of Krishna, what he has done in Mathura, in Vrindavan, in Dwarika. Completely all description comes in that. And again, 11th and 12th, I think Canto 11th is called as Uddhava Gita, what Krishna told to Uddhava. And then again, Canto 12 is just an in general summary of everything and giving a guideline or guidance for human being to live this life in this Kali Yuga.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining and being hearing me. So okay. And Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samveta Bhakta Vrinda ki,
Jai.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It was nice to hear the voices of Tabasha and
I know.
uh,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna.